We're here at another... blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
We have to do that clap thing. I don't know why, for some reason.
There might be a secondary audio after.
But there is no secondary audio, bonehead, because there's no, like...
No, I'm just screwing with you.
Oh, okay. We're here at another spot interview for NeverEndingPanel.com with tour author Sam Butler. Sam, why don't you tell us about your books and what you're working on?
Okay. As you said, I'm a tour author. I have had I had a trilogy come out, the Stone Wedge trilogy.
How long? Question: how long did it actually take for it to come out in completion?
Well, you mean from first book to last book?
Yes.
First book came out in September of '06, which in itself was a 9-month delay of the original publication date, and the last book came out in April of '09. So that's 2.5 years.
Okay. So tell us about the series itself.
The series is the Stone Wedge. It's 3 books: Reefen's Choice, Queen Ferris, and The Magician's Daughter. And it's basically the way I like to describe it. In the first book, Riefen makes his choice. It's whether or not he's going to choose magic. Magic not being an entirely good thing in this universe. The second,
like being a lawyer.
Yes, in fact, it's far worse probably because you actually do have to sign the pact in blood with the devil.
Oh.
And in the second book, we
How's
learn.
that different from being a lawyer?
Will you let him talk about his book? This is about Sam, not about you.
You know, and besides, I know lawyers who actually have managed to negotiate their way out of that contract. So he couldn't do it. Because that's what happens to Riefen in the second book, is first you see what he does with the magic.
What, Riefen is your protagonist?
Riefen is the protagonist.
Okay.
And what Riefen does in the second book is he does some good things with his magic, but in the third book, it's all about what the magic does to him. Which is, you know, a lot of fantasy doesn't go to that place. There's usually no cost to magic. You wave your wand, and you know the shiny sparkly things come out, and there's no cost to it.
I like that notion. Choose whether or not you want to have this thing. It almost seems when you said that, oh, of course you want magic. Who wouldn't want like extra powers to do stuff? But there's a cost.
Yeah, there's a cost, and the people offering it to you are not necessarily the people you really want to hang around with for a lot of your life.
I always know when to buy gold. When people are offering to sell gold. Sorry.
Yeah.
I always know when people are offering to buy my gold, that's when you buy gold. When people are offering to sell you gold, that's when you sell gold. Those commercials are amazing indicators of what you should do with gold.
Well, they're the guys that are in the market.
Okay, so the third book is already out?
The third book came out in April.
Okay, great.
I wrote a very odd literary, probably 2 literary sequel because I had to, in which I bring there are actually 3 protagonists, and Avender, Ferris, and Riefen. And it's as much Avender and Ferris' story as it is Riefen's. And some people would say it's maybe Avender's story more than anybody else's because he's sort of the second banana. And I bring Avender to America. I always wanted to bring, everybody goes from this country, from our world, to a fantasy world. And occasionally a character from a fantasy world will come here. Right. But not very often, and never for a whole book. So I wrote this book about Avender in America, which I actually don't think I'm going to sell, because it's not commercial enough. But it was a book I had to write, and so I wrote it. And sometimes, you got to just write what you want.
Sometimes you got to get it out.
You got to get it out.
We asked Jerry Purnell and Larry Niven why they wrote their latest iteration.
Inferno.
Oh, okay.
He said, was it the money? He said, no. Jerry Purnell said, I had this itch for 30 years, and I just had to write it.
Yeah. And but now I'm actually working on a science fiction book now.
Wow, okay.
It's odd that I wrote a fantasy novel, because I do think of the 3 books as being actually one long novel.
Right.
Because I actually like science fiction more than fantasy. I like the ideas of science fiction, but I'm not a scientist. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. So in fact, I was the English major.
Don't let that stop you. It didn't stop us.
Exactly.
I'm a copywriter,
I teach economics.
And as I've learned now, okay, that's a good reason. I'm going to go for it. And I call it a cross between The Moon is a Harsh Mistress and Carl Sagan's Contact.
Oh.
The Moon is a Harsh Contact?
Moon is a harsh contact, or the contact is a harsh mistress.
Contact is a harsh mistress, yes. Right.
Contact is always a harsh mistress. That's an idea. I should have a nice S&M character.
Well, they're doing that with the 3. What is it? With the ghouls. Pride and Prejudice and Ghouls or
Oh,
what?
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So you know.
Well, but they're doing an S&M one now.
I don't know. I mean, if they can do
Oh, they
combos,
have to.
why can't we? Damn it!
Oh,
You know?
yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think what hasn't been done. Mansfield Park, obviously, it's a private men's club for S&M dominatrices. And we
It's
got
an invitation only.
Yeah,
Oh, no, wait a minute. Eyes wide shut. Never mind.
That's right. That's right. It's already been done. Darn.
So this is what you're
Kubrick's
working on, but
Kubrick's
you're not sure.
Well, no, this is what I'm working on now.
Gotcha.
I got the other one. I got the other one out of my system,
Okay,
and
good.
it's making the rounds. But you know, maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't.
Got it.
Tor has the option on it, but it's not really a Tor kind of book. It might be a smaller press kind of book,
Okay.
if it's anybody's kind of book.
Right.
But it makes the rounds. You write something, you got to try and sell it, whether you think it's going to sell or not. And so now I'm working on the science fiction novel.
Gotcha. Is that set bought?
No, it's
Gotcha.
pure spec.
Pure spec.
I tend to, I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway.
Now, when you do like pure spec, did you pitch it first to your editor and say, hey, I'm working on this thing? Oh, that sounds like something we'd be interested in, and then you go for it, or you go for it and then you give them the first 3 chapters, you write the whole thing. How would you do it?
Well, I have not actually pitched this one. The one before this that I actually don't think I'm going to sell. I actually did pitch, and my editor liked it. He liked the idea. He said, I don't know if I can sell it or not.
Right.
But I do like the idea.
Right.
So let's go for it.
Well, that's what they said to J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. And she got several hundred rejections first, didn't she?
Well,
She wrote the
she
book
got
first.
27,
27,
rejections,
32, something like that.
And so I have not pitched.
You gotta wonder what those 27 people are thinking.
The same thing the guys who turned down Steven Spielberg for, or Eminem's turned down Steven Spielberg for that famous scene.
Yeah. No, there's you gotta sometimes you make a choice.
Right.
You're a professor of economics. You make a choice. You're wrong. You live with it.
Right.
You go on to the next one.
Right.
But no, I'm a very organic writer. I would love to be able to write off an outline. I mean, it makes it so much easier.
Right.
You know what you're going to do every day because this is what's next in my outline.
Right.
But I cannot produce that way.
Right.
I have to sit there organically and write. I have to spend a lot of pages having my characters go to the bathroom, eat, talk to each other about stuff that is never going to be in the book because I have to get to know the characters before I can get in deep enough into their heads to actually write their story the right way. I already know what the story is going to be. I know where it's going to begin, I know where it's going to end, I know some scenes in the middle. But in order to tell their story, I really have to live it with them for 750 pages that will then be cut down to 400 pages. Exactly. I have to, and the creation is in the observation.
Right.
I could do something with this.
I completely get it. When you said the whole bathroom scene, that scene popped in my head in the story we're working on now, and all of a sudden I was like, of course it would be like that. So just poof, it's there. You just can't help it.
And it's much better and much more. Hey, you want to be a writer? You learn to write summaries and synopses and pitch ideas and outlines of ideas, and you don't have to stick to them. Because I have done some outlines, and in fact I did one of the book that I finished that I don't think I'm going to sell. But as my editor said when I gave it to him, a year from now when you hand it in, I'm not going to remember any of this. This is just a sales document,
Right.
and a year from now I'll completely forgot it, and the book is going to be whatever you make it to be. So don't worry about whether it's going to work or not in the summary. Just you're trying to sell me an idea.
Got it. All right. Well. Sam, thank you very much for being on NeverEndingPanel.com and letting us know what you're working on and what's coming out. And we will make sure to do a superimpose in front of the screen. You have a website, presumably?
I have a website.
Why don't you say it, even though we're going to put it on screen?
Because it's going to be right there.
Look up www.veilingstoneways.com.
There you go.
And it's not much of it's mostly a blog with a website behind it that is a very archaic website, which I haven't gotten around to fixing. But you'll get there.
You get the word out.
Yeah.
Sam,
Thank you very much. It's always a great pleasure hanging out with you guys.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Don.